What's good, everyone? Hopefully, y'all doing well today on this nice, beautiful, sunny day in Southern California. Hopefully, y'all had a good 4th of July if you celebrated in the good way with your familia and whatever you did, alright? Now, for this video, is going to be a little something different. Hopefully, it can educate, but at the same time, push every one of you, whether it be female or male, into doing something like this. Because I'm about to tell you a little crazy story. I'm not going to take all what do you call it? And I can try to take a lot of time in this because it is kind of crazy, but at the same time, if it happened to me, pretty much it could happen to anybody out there. And I could imagine if it has happened to anybody out there, what type of situation, what type of mess, what type of BS they had to go through. And let me tell you what it was. All right. Now this happened a little bit before 2022, going into, because it went through 2023. All right. And this is what it was. Now, how many guys or do you do Uber or try to do Uber? Any one of those, riding apps type of thing. For me, I done, like either delivering food, whatever's. But this time around, I was gonna be like, let me try to make a little extra money on the side. Let me try Uber. Never tried it. I have a new ride. Well, at that point in time when I got it, so therefore I could probably do it. You know what I mean? And easy qualify for it, being the fact that I got a new car. So that being said, did all the information right. Once you want to get into it, fill out the information. Then they tell you to go to a certain spot so you could check the vehicle and so on to make sure everything is, I guess, up to date or is workable, so you could do your sort of job. All right. After when that's it, then I went to the one in Los Angeles. All right, where they checked the car, did everything. You pay a certain fee for that. I didn't know about that, but I paid it. It wasn't that much. I can't even remember how much it was, but it was like, I think, less than $20. So after all that was done, then I'm like, all right, I'm in. Don't know when I'm gonna get the approval, when I can start doing this, but I know for sure I'm in. Sure enough, nothing was going on, and I'm like, something about the background check. Now that's been on hold for like a long while. Once I started doing everything else was it passed like that, but it's something about the background check. But I got the words because it was weird to me that I'm seeing like they still haven't what do you call it? I guess went through it or anything or done it yet. But from what I heard, it's like they done it. So when it still wasn't showing the fact that it was not being done, and I gotta wait on that. I had enough. I called Uber, their sort of place where you call, and they told me, yeah, everything is good, but we're still waiting for your background. All right. After we were talking, me and whoever was behind that line, then he comes out saying, oh, check this out. The reason why you can do Uber or being part of this is because you have a DUI record on your record, on your driving record. On this year and this so on. But it says here that you did the classes, you spend no time in jail, I guess, and did your classes and so on, so you're all good to go. But still, this just affects you. But then I'm like, hold on a second. I never had a DUI. Now, in my past, I've gotten stopped before, being a little tipsy or so on, with the homies or by myself. But luckily for me, never have I ever gotten a DUI. But being some homies that I know have gotten DUIs and so on, so I can understand or see or know what would happen when you come to sort of situations like that, right? Being your first, second, or even third. But for me, never had it. So by him telling me that I had a DUI on my record, of course it got me shocked. Even got me thinking, like, did this even happen to me? So I'm like, no way, this couldn't be possible. So that person of the Uber told me to get in contact with DMV and see what the issue is. Getting in contact with DMV, I don't know if it's the next day or that same week though. Went to DMV, right, in person, because fuck the phone calls. And then waiting in line and all that, so y'all know how that is. So waiting in line, told them about the situation. They pulled up whatever it is that they put on my record. Then they said that yes, my record does say that I did have a DUI on this certain amount of year to this year, whatever the case may be, and all that sort of thing. And I'm like tripping. I'm like, wait a minute, you gotta have the wrong person, because I never had a DUI. I never went to court, never did no classes, never did anything of this nature. So what the hell's going on? So he's tripping out too, because she's trying to understand. I'm saying I never did this, but just on my record saying I did this, right? So he tells me, prints it out from the DMV. This is the court where they made this judgment. It was somewhere in Riverside. He circles this. He tells me, call this courthouse. Call the courthouse. Can't recall if it was that day, the next day, you know, because time schedules, time issues, and everything. It's a headache, man. So I ended up calling the court, right? Finally got through. So I got to talk to whoever, it was a guy over that courthouse, and I told them about my situation. I'm a guy that's calling from here, trying to figure out how is it possible that I could get a DUI charge if I never got in charge for a DUI. You get what I'm saying? Like, how is that in my record? How not even in your guys? What the hell in your side, on your court? So then he's kind of tripping out on this, and he's saying, "Aren't you this and that?" And saying my name, and I'm like, "Well, yes." Well, it says here, so there's nothing you could do about it, because now it's on record, it's on file. But it shows here that you already did the classes, you already spent your little time and so on, so you're good. And I'm like, wait a minute, but that's not fucking me. You know what I mean? Excuse me for my language. Kind of taking me back on that moment. So then, long story short, he tells me, look, there's nothing we could do here. It's already on record. It's already on file. The judge cannot overturn this. That's what that person was telling me. So then I'm telling him, what could I do? Like, this is not right. He gives me the information of the officers, the police station over this, where they made the arrest and so on of that individual. That's the last thing I ever want to do, and I'm pretty sure anybody wants to do. Call the cops and talk to anyone about a certain situation. But in this situation, it's different. That's what I kept telling myself. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to get something clear that's not right. So now I'm calling the police station from over there. I forgot which one. I ain't trying to get all detailed with it, but I called the police station over there, right? Whoever answered the phone, it was a lady. Talk to him about my situation. All right, the one you could talk to, this is not here right now. That person is on vacation. All right, let them my information and so on, and they say whenever that person comes back, he'll give you a call. And I'm like, all right, but throughout all this, just keep this in mind. I have driven before without a license, so to say, because of child support, and any father that goes through that sort of ordeal about child support, going through jobs, and they would pay whatever the case may be, it's a hassle, and it's a heartbreak at the end, because you try to go to work but you can't drive, you know, and then they get you for driving, then you get either a big ticket to take your car away, or both, you know, or take you in, wherever the case may be, and that's messed up. So I had certain situations like that, but nothing big, you know what I mean? When it comes to me getting stopped, of course I got my car searched quite a few times and stuff like that, but those are other stories. But this one is the reason I'm telling you this, so you could kind of save yourself with this headache, all right? Or you don't even know about it, because I would have never known about it if I never done this. So this was supposedly on my record, right? I'm telling the cop this. So now he's like, okay, let me put up the file. What does the case number say there? I'm telling him the case number. Okay, tells me, what's your name? Tell them my name. All right. But it says here also this and that. Being, you know what I mean, Mexican names, or certain names that have more than your first, middle, last name. You know, it can have like 2 additional names or something like that, right? So check this out. That guy that they ended up getting had my first name, had my last name. The middle name was different. He had a second, another one by going by Junior. All right. Now I have the same name as my father. Now I could go by Junior, but I don't really go by Junior. You know, when you list, I also go by Junior or this or that, whatever the case may be. But I've never done that. So when he read me that his name, I'm like, clearly that's not me. What's the address? Give him my address. It's not his. It's not the address. The same address. Zip code. Your California driver license number. Give them a California license number. Totally different from that person. Now, straight up from that cop's mouth. Now, either they fucked up or the court messed up. So they were trying to blame the court first. No, this is the court's fault. Go through this issue and everything like that. You know what I mean? So I told them, like, straight up, I already talked to the court. They told me to talk to you. It was a freaking headache, man. And then I had to call one more person, I think, explain to them the freaking situation. And then they were taking their time on it, doing their own investigation about this whole situation, right? So, and throughout this whole time, here I've been driving. Here I'm taking my son to his mother. Here I'm taking my son and all this. And I'm the type of person that if a cop sees me, he's going to linger behind me. And I thankfully never once got stopped when this whole situation was going on, what I didn't even know about, you know? So as this doing the investigation and all that sort of thing, what happened? Trip on this. So I'm dealing with that, right? Not once did I thought about the insurance, because insurance hasn't came to me about nothing, right? Not that they had to, because I didn't know. I'm dealing with this situation and it's not me, so I'm trying to get this clear. So as this was going on, as I'm talking to the court, even to the police station, it's not me and all this sort of thing, and they're telling me to prove it's not me. It's like, that's stupid. You know, I mean, you're clearly saying it's not me and not my address and not none of the information. Just because my first name and last name was the same, that's not right, man. And then they didn't even finger the person when they took him in, supposedly, because that's how they said they couldn't really identify the person. They just said, this is you. They said, yeah, and that's they went by it. How is that right? So then when that happened, right? What do you call it? I got an email from my insurance stating, hey, we now found something on your record. Now your insurance is gonna go up $400 and something. Kind of close by from what I'm paying already for a car. So in total, I'm gonna be paying like a little more than $1 a month for car insurance and a car. I replied simply back, there's no way I'm paying for this. I'm going through a certain situation, trying to clear my name about something that came about, but there's no way I'm paying for this. Long story short, me and this guy, right? And he's still my insurance guy. Long story short, me and him going back and forth about this. Not disrespecting or nothing in that nature. Just him, of course, trying to get an understanding. Him telling me I gotta pay for this, and it because it's the law. But I'm like, I didn't break the law. I didn't do nothing about this. So then when I called the police station about this, because now I'm getting pissed off. Now my insurance trying to come at me for this. They didn't come at me for this not whatsoever before. But now that I'm fighting it, like through the police, the court and all this shit, now they coming. That to me is kind of fishy. So now they're trying to come at me stating this, like, oh, we got to do this, is the law. You got to pay all this. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no. So then I called the police. They just told me, now I got my insurance on my ass. Like, could you talk to them, so on, could something be worked out? You know what I mean? They're like, oh, it's a process. This could take up to 6 months to a while to try to get this overturned. You know what I mean? And I'm paying for somebody's mistake. I don't even know if it's the cops or the courthouse, but from what I believe, it's the cops. And I'll explain to that. I'll get to that why. So long story short, so now the insurance is talking to the station, whoever they talking to about my situation. But of course, the insurance want their money. I'm like, I'm not paying for that shit. You know. So they told me to what do you call it? They can't do the insurance can't do nothing until they get a certain letter. I mean, I'm sorry, not letter. Till they actually see in the system that I got nothing, no DUIs, no nothing. Otherwise, I'm gonna be paying that. The cop already finished telling me like a day or so ago. A while after this, it's like this is gonna take up to 6 months to a year. Imagine that. So this freaking was giving me a freaking headache, man. But for whatever happened and how it happened, don't know. But I got a call within 2 weeks, maybe after that. It was from the cop. Told me, hey, they already went to court, whatever their people, they already did the filing, everything, and boom, it's done, out of my record. So now they're just waiting for that to go through. So now I'm telling this to insurance, hey, this happened, blah, 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 we're just waiting for it to go through, all right? But whenever it happens, just, I'll let you know about it. That insurance guy, and thank you, he'll be checking it every time, every other day or so, just to check when that thing goes off, so I could pay my insurance and not pay all this sort of amount that they want me to pay. Now I'm like not even paying. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to deal with this situation and clear my name. So it all ended. I had no DUI on my freaking record, and this is what I told them. What I told my insurance guy, what I told the cop, what I told the people at the courthouse, right? If I'm the person who you're talking to that had a DUI, this was the same time I was fighting custody for my son. You would think I would win the case if I had a DUI on me? If I would have had that jail time? If I would have been doing those classes when I was fighting for my son? No freaking way. So, you know what I mean? I had my son, I have custody of my son. But like I'm saying, imagine me being stopped and me having to explain myself that I'm not the person they're seeing on the system that had a DUI. And if I had my son in the car, imagine all these scenarios that was playing in my mind. Like, I didn't know what could have happened if I would have never done this Uber shit to check my background. But the reason I was trying to say, I'll get back to this, or why I think this kind of situation happened. Sure, being in this other person had the similar name, but not exactly the similar name, because he had more from what the cop told me. So what does that tell me from everything from what I explained to you? Whoever was that person who got arrested for that DUI, not me, but had a similar name, I believe they were looking out for him because either related to a cop, he's either has friends or certain connections. Because how could they make that sort of mistake? How could the court and all that made it go through and not one time have I ever gotten something if they're saying it was me? Why, when I chose to want to fight that, when I found out about it through Uber, that I'm trying to fight this now that because I never had a DUI, I'm telling them, then the insurance wants to get involved. Isn't that freaking crazy? But I mean, hopefully the story is something different, but at the same time, is hopefully y'all, whoever hears this, whether you're black, brown, white, yellow, don't matter. If you could do a background check on yourself today, tomorrow, just do the Uber shit. Just do whatever it takes just to check you up, man. Especially if you're the type of ones, like in your own race, like me, having the same similar type of name as any other, you know what I mean, brown brother could have. You know what I mean? It is, but I think it's wrong from what they did, and I don't know. I have my own thoughts about it, but I could be wrong, right? But just wanted to tell you about the story, about something like this could happen, and if it has happened to anybody else, share your experience. It is kind of crazy. Imagine you having something on your record and you never knowing nothing about it, and then if they stop you or something happens, then it's telling you're this sort of individual that did this sort of crime. Then you gotta prove to the court or whoever it may be that you were not the one who did it. And how the fuck are you gonna prove that? Because I couldn't even tell them that was not even me when they had my first name and last name according to them, and it already went through the system. That's fucking crazy. Stay safe out there. Stay grinding. Much love, you know what I mean? And like I'm saying, it never hurts to do a background check, alright? Trust me. It can save you a lot of headache in the future, in the long run, if you end up finding something that's not true. But at the same time, get at these motherfucking people that try to do this sneaky shit towards us, because they feel like we're not gonna fight back. They feel like we're not gonna have a voice over this. But we got to, alright? Tenemos que hacer algo, gente. Tenemos que pelear el sistema para seguir poquito adelante. Or let them know, hey, we're evolving, and we're not gonna take this BS no more from you guys. Do your own research. Do your, you know what I mean? Try to fix any issues that you got going for yourself. Try to start a new beginning for the better. And if you are, much love and respect for you. Know how that is, alright? Till the next one, and keep grinding. A ratos.